Greetings and welcome everyone, welcome to DevChatter. Hope you're all having a fantastic Monday. I'm going to go ahead and get us started here. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Brendan. This channel here is DevChatter. I am the host of the channel, but we are a pretty awesome community of developers, if I do say so myself. I like really the and we start with some hype. I really like the I guess openness and welcoming that we actually get from all the people in our community. I want to say a hi to a bunch of the people that have said hi in chat already. The Naked Flame, hello, greetings. Fixter Jake, greetings, welcome, welcome. Greendolph, Surly Dev, Katrina. Glad to see a bunch of you here at the beginning of the stream. Always nice. We are going to, what is this, episode 198 of DevChatter. So we are close to our 200th episode. I apologize, I still have not figured out what we're doing for our 200th episode, but that's coming up. It'll be this week sometime. We'll do something interesting. 200th episode, gotta do something fun. Greetings, hello, welcome. Hey, S&B. For those of you that don't know, if there is a new... And S&B starting off with a Twitch Prime, 11-month Twitch Prime sub. Oh man. That Chatosaurus is about to get some teeth and start smiling with a crown. That is awesome. That deserves some hype in the chat. If anybody's got those Chatosauruses, be sure to spam those in the chat right now. Anyway, for anyone that is new here, I want to mention a couple of things. So I talked about how we have a very open and welcoming community. If you are interested in getting involved with that community and chatting with me or any of the other Chatosauruses that are here on the channel, there are a ton of us over in the Discord, and it is really, really an awesome group of people. So I recommend you check out our Discord if you are at all interested in chatting with any of us outside of the stream time. In addition to that, I want to make sure that everybody knows about our GitHub, github.com/devchatter. The projects we work on here on the stream, we put pretty much all of them out on this team, organization, whatever it is, at github.com/devchatter, and you will find things like our DevStreams project, which is the one we're going to be working on today. Did I? No, I didn't change my thing. I need to change the thing. That is not the project we're working on today. We did that last time. So, get rid of that. Turn on that one. There we go. And I'll pretend that I had that set up correctly the whole time. I mean, what change? Huh? I didn't do anything. Okay, and then lastly, I want to make sure that I mention that there are archives of our stuff over on YouTube, and you can get notifications about stuff that's going on Twitter from time to time, though now that I think about it, I didn't even announce this stream on Twitter, which is why the Discord's a better place anyway, or clicking the follow button to make sure you get notified. Either of those works out pretty well, as I'm sure those are how most people ended up here today. So, welcome everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. So, last time on DevChatter, we were doing a side project. Time before that, on DevChatter, we were working on the DevStreams project, and we were in our Loose Ends branch. So the Loose Ends branch is a spot where... Whoops. Let me totally screw up my webcam. The Loose Ends project is one where we were working on tying up little things, so it's fixing stuff that we'd only made a to-do for, maybe a small issue here or there, but little things that we just want to piece together in preparation of having this code ready to get released. So if we take a look at what is in here, we have things like pulling out the default username and password for the admin account so that they're coming from config files. Things like renaming a file to make it a little bit better, extracting out information for caching to make that work a little bit better. I did one extra because S&B sent us a pull request that we merged in a couple of days ago, and oh, that's stopping the committing of the sitemin.css, so hopefully that's done. And yeah, so those are the little side pieces that we were taking a look at last time. Let's have a look again. So I'm going to pull up our task list and see if there are any other little low-hanging fruit to-dos that we've got that we can just take care of. Extract this somewhere. That's super vague. What is this one? I agree, S&B. The site min.css, it went in when we initially did the project, and I just never got rid of it for some reason. So why task list? Are you not working? That's in details CSHTML. And it says extract this somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, that totally needs to get extracted. That is nasty. Just this bit of code that I think we tossed in here when we were like, oh yeah, we're working on that. We'll just put that up there. And it worked to get it going, and we put that little comment to make sure we came back and did it. And this is us actually making that to-do comment, not a big lie. So when you actually come back and get those every once in a while. Okay, so fully qualified channel image source. So what does this do? This says, essentially, if your channel has an image URL associated with it, we'll use that. Well, that's actually kind of funny. Hey, the Michael Jolly, welcome. But that needs to go somewhere else. So I guess the first step would be to pull that into the back end of this page and bind it there instead. So let's do that. So step one, make it slightly better, would be pull this into the back end of this page. Okay, let's do that. So details CSHTML file. So we have the channel bound, but we don't have this one yet. And this is going to be, let's say logo URL. We'll make it its own thing. Okay. On get, we grab the channel. We could make logo URL be just a calculated field by doing this. Like so. Hang on, let me see what's going on in chat here. Oh, just a bunch of people saying hi to Michael. I am also glad you've got streams to listen to today. It's always nice to be able to listen to a stream while you're doing stuff. Alright, so we're gonna say if there's a channel and that channel has an image URL, then and it's not, essentially if it's not null or white space, then use that image URL. Otherwise, use this one. And this again is building it based on that value. So that's kind of annoying that it displays this with a with that link syntax, LINK. So it's doing this highlight of blue in the underline. That really is kind of inconvenient, actually. But not the worst thing. So that gives us logo URL. So now we should be able to say source is model.logo URL. All right. Plutonin, hey, welcome. Greetings. Plus getting to chat with... yes, exactly. So the fun thing that I don't know if I mentioned to all of you, so you might remember back in the day, I showed everyone a cool program that I was building. This is not the correct window. Let's try that again, only with the correct one. Alright, there we go. Visual Studio did the right thing this time. So you all might remember that I showed off a cool program that I built that lets people change the menu color in Final Fantasy VII. And the cool thing about that is, that I wanted to mention here, is that there is actually a streamer running with it right now. right here. So those colors on that menu that is in this game, those were actually controlled by a little program that we wrote. Uses TwitchLib and all the same stuff that we usually do with our bot development here on the channel, but it's kind of neat because it connects into the game and actually changes its memory live while it's running. So it's very, very cool. Okay, so in theory, that logo thing should be working. So there's that. Let's just really refresh just to make sure. Yep, seems like it is. And then to make sure it really is calling this code and not some other code. Yep, it's calling in here. Cool. Do we have any channels that we actually have the logo for? I think Michael Jolly, we might actually have that one. I think we do. Yeah, we do. Okay, so cool. So it shows his image if we have it, and if we don't have the image, it shows a placeholder, which is what it's going to show for this one. So there's the Brendonius placeholder, which is not a great placeholder, but it does the job. There is a thing there, so we didn't leave just an emptiness or a broken image. So very cool. So this still not ideal, but we are already a step better than the last version, so I kind of want to commit this piece. Actually, how do I want to write this? Like that? Yeah, that's slightly better. Although I kind of want to pull this out as its own thing as well. Alright, well, we'll commit this, and then we'll make it better in the next one. So, pull logo image URL into page model. So we'll do that to start with. Okay, what do we have here? Can't even work with talk radio on sometimes. Oh yeah, Surly Dev. Yeah, some people can't work with talking. It just depends on what your situation is. What I can't do is I cannot write text. So like words, I can't write words while I'm processing like speech. So that's the challenge that I run into. I can write code while there's speech, and that's not a problem. But code is a little bit different to me because doesn't use like my language processing part. I sometimes have to like quiet things down inside my own head just to get naming, but as long as it's just code, I'm generally okay. Alright, so that'll do a calculation of logo URL when it's requested, and it's only requested in one place, I know, so that's why I didn't put any extra effort into making it do something where it saved it as a variable. This is getting called one time per page request, so even if I stored that in a variable, it'd still get called one time, so there's no actual like performance savings or anything like that. Let's see. So those are the colors there. That's going to be the channel name. Let's see. Chocolatey is nice. Yes. Plutonin. Yes, chocolatey is fantastic. Definitely use chocolatey. I generally have something on Michael Jolly, but maybe Dash Ducks stream. Ducks on or music. Oh, yeah. Yep, totally makes sense. Okay, so we got that one. Good. That removed a to-do. Next thing, let's open up our view, our task list again. So we did extract this somewhere. Show a loading message based on this. Ooh, yeah, that we might want to do. Extract to composed dependency. Okay, what are we doing here? I read this one last time and we didn't do it because I read that and I was like, that sounds challenging. And I knew we were doing a short stream. So, Twitch channel service. So what was I thinking here? We pull in the settings. How does this work? That's getting the channel info. That's getting that. Okay, so this is called there and here. Here. So the JSON result here and the JSON result here. Both times we just call await get URL. So in some way, this is like how we call the client. So we're creating a new HTTP client to make this call to an address based on the settings. So you know what we could do is we can pull this out with the client ID as a parameter. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do Control-Alt-P and extract this as a parameter that I'm going to call Twitch client ID. So that value now has to get passed in. So notice when I did that extraction, it moved it to line 51 and line 33. So that client ID now gets passed in both places. So that means that this can go live somewhere else. It's interesting that we did this instead of actually connecting TwitchLib or anything like that. But that's fine. We're doing such a simple thing with Twitch right now that there's not huge need for it. So we're inside of the Twitch channel service over here. Let's extract this as something, because I have a feeling if we check the Twitch stream service, it has the same thing. Yes, it does. It's right here. See? So they both have it, and that's why we want to extract it out, because this method, we either need to make a base class that has a get method for both of them to use, not the route I necessarily want to go, or what we can do is we can extract out this as a dependency that does this call. And you just have to tell it what URL you want to call, and it will do that. So let's call this. Wait, why did I do that? Nope. I meant to go over here, hit this button, and this is called the Twitch API client. Maybe Twitch API client. I can see that being the thing that this is, and we'll call this the iTwitch API client because we do want to have an interface for this. Inside of the core project, I want to have a Twitch folder, and I'm going to try putting the interface in here. If I can get away with it, that's awesome. So, we're going to have that use that. Now let's go over here. Oops, not that one, this one. We're going to make this a task that returns back a string given a URL and a Twitch client ID. So that is our get method right there. But I kind of want to give this a, well, we can just call it get. Yeah, we'll just leave it as get for now. That's fine. Maybe get JSON data. Yeah, we'll do get JSON data just because it's a little clearer what's going on there. And now I want to take this code, put this in the actual API client, make this a sync so that we can actually call await. And now, inside of our Twitch client, right here, I want to get rid of this. And I'm going to add this as a dependency to the class. So we're going to call that the Twitch API client, which I'm going to introduce as a field right there. And then once I've done that, I can go to these calls and await a call to get JSON data instead. Let's see. Plus you want to extract the new HTTP client out so you can test it because everyone loves unit testing. Entity Atom, yes, exactly. But what you're actually missing is that by extracting this out, we allow this class I'm in now to be tested. So that's the big one. Exactly. See, as Twitchlove points out, the API client, I don't really need to unit test that. Extracting out the HTTP client, because I've kept that so small and hidden away, we might integration test it, but we wouldn't unit test that piece, because that piece doesn't add much if we test it. That's just, like, you know, practically testing the .NET framework and a single call, because realistically, we're not creating anything there. So that's the cool part about it, is this really doesn't even have anything to do with Twitch now that I think about it. It just happens to know that we pass in a client ID. So, I mean, it is Twitch, but it really isn't. So, cool stuff. But actually, now that I think about it, that actually might get even easier. Do we use these settings for anything else? Base API URL. Do we always go off the base API URL? We do. You know what? We're going to make this simpler. We are going to make this even simpler. Here's what we're doing. This is going to have those settings instead. This is going to have the Twitch settings. So we're going to hide that away in here. So we're going to put the I options in this one. Put that there. Extract this. We're going to do that, and then suddenly that class is going to be testable. It's going to be fantastic. Funny thing being, there won't be much to test, but it will be testable. Okay, so that means they're going to pass me that piece instead of this. So, URL, this is going to be, whoops. No, I don't need that. Hide that. This is going to be this, and their URL. Yeah, there's nothing to... Exactly, Entity Atom. Yep. We've made it so simple that it doesn't, like, okay, about the only piece we could maybe test is that. So, like, I could pull this into a helper, and we could call that good. But realistically, I should probably be even just using a built-in, like, URI builder that would do this for me. So actually, why don't I just do that? And then at that point, it's essentially like you shouldn't be doing it because it's what, you know, it's just testing the framework at that point. You know what? I swear there's a thing that does this. Yeah, okay, so Floral includes that. Oh, do I actually want to get that? URL.combine? Is that actually... So someone was mentioning Floral in chat, didn't they? Someone said it. I recall. Twitchloft did, yes. See? URI has a... Oh, wait, hang on. URI has a constructor that should do this for you. Got it. So this is all we need to do. That's a way simpler way to do it, because then we don't need an extra library for it. Wait, hang on. That's my directory. Wait, hang on. Oh, really? Oh, man, yeah. URI.try_create. I wonder how that one works. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'm seeing a challenge with that one. Hey, Coding Gorilla. Yeah, we can check that one out as well. Let me just take a look at this. Because this part here actually wants it to be a so that would have to be a relative one if we were doing that. You know what? Let's open this up and see what that looks like. Base API, yeah, because it says /helix, so that might cause us a problem. Yeah. Alright, we'll take a look at Floral. Why not? Doesn't seem that scary. We'll put it inside the Twitch project right here. Floral. Whoops, in browse, Brendan. Fluent Portable URL Builder. That actually sounds really awesome. And it works on Net Standard, so good. Glad it supports Net Standard, because pretty much everything needs to. Where's it complaining about that? It's correct, I did remove that from here. So we're removing the client ID from that call, just so that it doesn't have that. That's going to pass in that part. Remove the client ID from here as well. So now it's just calling through to those. Do not need client ID on there. We just removed that. Let's go to the implementation of this. There is no implementation of that, because it was looking for an implementation that included the exact signature of that method, which doesn't exist because we just changed the signature. Okay, so we want _Twitch settings dot client ID as our client ID. Now we need to take this URL, so Floral URL combine. Oh, and it just wants them as parts. Basically, a path combined for yours ensures exactly one / separates each segment, and exactly one and separates each query parameter. How does it know it's a query parameter? This person had this example. So as soon as you end one with a question mark, each piece must be a query parameter, I'd assume then. Okay, that makes sense. So we are going to do path.combine _Twitch settings .base API URL and the URL. And that should get us the part that we want. And this will be a string. Good. We'll call that full URL. Ah! You know. Alright, so instead of doing this, because that's ugly, we're going to say full URL. Let's get rid of that. So client ID, and full URL like so. And then that is the entirety of the Twitch API client class, and it gets used inside of this as a Twitch API client right there as the only dependency, and then inside this one we can extract this same thing and do the exact same trick. So get rid of this, and we called it the iTwitch API client, Twitch API client. Add that as a read-only field. And now we no longer have this duplicated across projects either. So we now say Twitch API client get JSON, so get JSON data. And I want to adjust the comment on that code so that get JSON data, so that anybody that uses it, do I need floral.http Twitch law? Which one did I get? Will this one not do it? Fluent, portable, testable HTTP client library. To make HTTP calls off the Fluent chain. I don't know what that means, guys. Floral, what's your deal? Which one do I need? Floral will use one HTTP client instance per host. For just the URL builder, install Floral. For everything else, install Floral HTTP. Okay, I just needed the URL builder, so I didn't need all the other stuff. Yeah, I can do other stuff with it, but for now I think that covers what I was doing. It was just that piece. Although realistically, I guess I could build up the whole URL that way, although I have not gotten to the point of putting those in there yet, so either way, I think that's gonna work. Let's run this in, well, let's build first. We'll run it in debug mode, just see what happens. And then we can look at extracting out some, now that this code's out here, I think we might be able to pull these classes out of the Twitch section and pull them into the core project so that they're not actually inside of the Twitch project even. Pretty sure we can. And as soon as they're inside of core, we can talk about unit testing them. Hang on. Still does not want to load it in the correct project. Hey Simon, welcome. And if I didn't mention to IC Killer T, President Not Sure 1, Coding Gorilla, Twitch Law, for anybody else, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Okay, so it could not resolve the service. Let's go take a look at startup. Because this right here, I had forgotten. Because we use a cached service for these, they get built in a special way because AutoFact just... we're using AutoFact, right? Or is this the standard one? No, it's the standard one. Okay. So we're using the standard one. The standard IOC container that comes built in with ASP.NET Core does not nicely handle the case where you have multiple types of the same interface that you want to use in the same execution of a project, which is a short way of saying we're using the decorator pattern and the IOC container built into ASP.NET Core is minimalistic. Intentionally so. So, type of this, type of that. Oh, wait, hang on. I did the wrong thing. Nope, put those back the way they were. It's when it creates this that it doesn't know how to do it. Okay, that's fine. Let's put it up here. Scoped. I really need to set this up to do a scan at some point. I don't know why we never did. Simon, hey, greetings. Twitch love, yes, typing on your phone can be a challenge. There it goes. Okay, so it's saying no one's live right now, but that just seems wrong. So DevChatter, it's claiming is live, that's true. Brandonius, it's claiming is live, that's not true. Why is it claiming Brandonius is live? And Gareth is live. These people are not live. It is claiming the DevChatter is live. Do we just have this display wrong? Nope, that's not live. It says Brandonius is live, but that's not true. Brandonius is hosting someone. Maybe that's what's getting confused about. We should confirm what that is thinking is going on. But out here, this seems to work. So whatever this one's based on is going right. So that call to the API is working, so at least one thing is. We're not totally crazy. So DevChatter is live. Hooray. Let's see. So that is extracting out that. So just the API call. Let's say extracting Twitch API client as just the API call. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Let's take a look at these pieces now. The Twitch channel service and the Twitch stream service should be super simple now. So the only thing that they do that I'm kind of questioning right now is they do understand about the URL parts that we've got to have on here. Which is probably fine for now. You know, I forgot about the fact that these are the same call. We should maybe merge these away. Do we do anything differently about them? To Twitch channel model, to Twitch channel model, .toList, return channel info. Wait, hang on. So this just knows that it's a single one, and then this just doesn't. But other than that, are they exactly the same? I think they are. Yeah, those are the same. It gets called in one place, this gets called in two places. This isn't even getting called right now, doesn't look like. But to be honest, I kind of want to have them all call this one, the one that's not getting called at all. What's calling this, though? So what's it doing? We're saying post the channel, get the... So this does that, and then that. Because we could be calling this and just passing in a single one and then saying .single when we get it back. Then we're not maintaining two instances of that. Alternately, I could have the one just call the other. We're going to have the one just call the other. We'll leave the signature alone and have the one just call the other. So let's do that. So first off, I'm actually going to toss the try catch around the other one. Were we gulping that? Yeah, we are. That's funny. I don't know why we swallowed that exception, but we did. So that'll just return back an empty collection if it fails. Then this will just run inside of a try-catch block. And since this is literally the same code, with the only difference being whether we do login a single time or whether we add multiple logins, doesn't make a difference. And doing a join of a single item, you don't apply the separator. So we can make this be a single item. So let's see if it lets us do this. I want to do a params string array, call it channel names. Now let's change the interface as well to be a params string array. Params string array called channel names. Ooh, grabbing a coffee. Good stuff. That caffeine, in all forms, by the way. Caffeine is one of those drugs we often refer to as developer fuel. So that was get channels info. This is get channel info. And on this one, I think I'm just going to call the other one. And actually, ooh, do I need to async it? I might need to because I'm going to single it. Okay, we will. So we'll say get channels info, passing in only the channel name, and then return. And I'm just gonna say .single or default. No, first or default. Oh man. Wait, single or default. There should be 1 or 0, so single or default is correct. Because I passed in only 1, so we should get back only 1. And actually, this was returning back null previously if it didn't find one, so we have not changed the behavior. Okay, let's go ahead and give this a quick little test. It's a small bit of code, but I see no reason why we can't test this. Let's first off account for that change that we just made. Let me just build one more time. I can't remember if I built. I did. So that means that my method's signature change worked just fine. Because it would have complained about that otherwise. We don't need runtime for something that would give you a compiler error. And then that is just wrapping that in a try-catch, and then this is just calling the other method to do that. Let's run it and just see, roughly speaking, if it works, and then we'll commit this change since we're doing it locally and write a unit test and commit that as well. Let's go over here. So this is still doing the weird thing where it's saying that Brandonius is live for some reason. I wonder if it's getting confused and seeing that they're hosting someone and calling them live. I'll need to check that and see why that's doing that. So it's saying DevChatter's live, which is good. So this one is the channel service. Guess I could log in and actually check and see what this one's doing. But I'll stop it for now. We'll do a quick commit here and get channel info call get channels info in Ingo channels Ingo. All right. Not bad, not bad. And I apologize, everybody. I'm still fighting off that cold that I had this weekend, so yep, still lingering. Happens. All right, so let's go ahead and create core Twitch. Where are we going? Core Twitch. And we're going to move it in there. So it's going to be called Twitch Channel Service, Twitch Stream Service. We're doing Twitch Channel Service first. So folder, Twitch Channel Service tests. Let's move that over there. Move it from core to from infrastructure to core, because it has no Twitch dependencies, nor does it even have Twitch settings dependencies. It does have a small bit of knowledge about Twitch's API, a little bit, just in terms of URLs. But really no reason it can't be in here. So it is now in here. Some of these settings, like how it does the user connection, things like that, I'd kind of like to have somewhere else, but not the worst thing. Fuel Snable, you don't mind a bit of risk taking, but you get a little grumpy when devs deploy late in the day and then go home. Oh yeah, it is quite annoying when someone deploys and then just leaves. Although, if you have a lot of automation around your deployments, it's usually not that dangerous, but still kind of, you know, meh. Kind of bugs me a little bit when people just jump out of there and don't do anything with that. Yeah, exactly. And then you're kind of like, wait, did you break it? I don't know. I can't tell. It's like, you might have. I'd love to ask you about what you did. Okay, where was I? I was going to make this a test class. This is going to be class. Get channels info should. Fact. Wait, what? What? Oh, that's the test client. Oh, I totally am derping like crazy. I was like, la da 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 da. I'm smoking something, don't mind me. I meant to open up this project. Twitch. And then this is folder, Twitch channel service tests. Get channels info should. Now creating it like a sane person. No one something Given something. I have to spend time email or stakeholders. Nice. That's always fun, Fuel Snable. Welcome back, Simon. Glad you got yourself something nice to drink. And Twitchloff, I will not be at NDC Oslo, although that is an event I frequently hear about. I would love to go to it at some point. Sounds like a fun one. Twitch channel service. What's it require? It requires a Twitch API client, huh? Well, I'm not going to give you a Twitch API client, because you don't get one. Instead, what you get is this. You get a new mock iTwitch API client .object. Yeah, that's right. You get that one. I'm going to extract this as a field, initialized in the constructor. I'm going to make it read-only. It's private. There we go. Let's call this the service. Var service equals new service. We passed in the mock object. And then the service we're going to call get channels info and pass in something. It doesn't really matter. Var result equals that. Result dot result. That's funny. Result, because what we're getting back is what do we get back on that? Oh, because it's an async task. That's why. So I have to await it, and then we should have a list. So I didn't mean to result. I meant to await that. We're gonna make that an async task, and then we're gonna say result dot count should be 1. Yeah, that sounds right. That'll be channel name. And what are we doing with this? I need to have it return back something. Yeah, that's right. I still have not figured out what we're doing with this one. That's why I start with do something given something. So we're going to call get JSON data, and it is any string. I'm not terribly concerned about what string they actually pass into me there. So get JSON data passing in that, and then I want to say return. Ooh, is that an async call? Yeah, returns async. And it's going to be a string that we return. So we got to do a returns async, otherwise this isn't going to work. So that's the other challenge with having a mock on this, instead of, say, a fake. Which we could have just done a fake. But we mocked it, so it gets called async, and we have to return back in an async fashion a string. So what's it expecting? It's expecting some kind of JSON data matching a user result object. So let's go out to Twitch. Let's just ask Twitch. Twitch is going to tell us what a real one looks like. Twitch API, what are we calling? Twitch API users. And this is from the Helix API. So there are like 3 Twitch APIs. We want to make sure that we're checking the Helix one, because the Helix one is the only one that should be live right now. The other one should be like retired at this point. So if we call this passing in a single login ID, we should get back a single result. Like this one. So let's do that. Let's make this a constant. So we're going to extract this as a field, tell it that it's a constant, and we're going to call this sample JSON for now. So that is the sample JSON that they sent to us, that Twitch has in their API. Ooh, yeah, no, because they've got double quotes in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these, I'm going to do a quick replace on double quote and replace it with single quote inside of that selection, because I happen to know that single quote and double quote aren't really going to be a problem, and if we run into an issue where our JSON deserialization is the issue, then we had a very different problem. Okay. So that should be the data that we get back. This is the code that's direct from them. So let's say let's do this. Sample from there. So you can see where the sample JSON data came from. That way, if this is ever a problem, we can go there and get a new one, hopefully, and that link might work. Okay, so that gets us our login data, everything like that. We call this. Is it? I didn't think it was. Maybe I'm crazy. You are correct, Coding Gorilla. You are correct. In that case, we'll do it this way. Let's replace single quote with / double quote, which is awful and terrible. Wow, it still doesn't like it even when I do it that way. Well, I can put it in a file, and we can use that. That just is irritating to do, because then we don't have to escape it a whole bunch. We can just use it as is. Oh, right, because I used an add, it's double quote, double quote. Yeah, the double quote, which is horrible and awful. So let's make it like this, so it's kinda almost readable. Yeah, I forgot that it did that. My brain wasn't working right there. I apologize about that. Alright, so we're expecting to get back one row. And what do we actually care about on this object? So, actually, we should just do this. except B. Because it's a collection? Contains single? There we go. Result single. What did we actually do in here? Hang on one sec, everyone. Hey, I'm guessing Jacques Mart? Something like that. Anyway, welcome. Thanks for the follow, much appreciated. And I apologize for totally butchering your name. If I did, and there is some way that I can improve the way I said it, let me know, and I will attempt to get it better on the next one. And that goes for everyone. If I'm ever butchering your name, just let me know, and I will try to say it a little bit better the next time. What? Why didn't you run? Run unit tests. Run the do something given something unit test. Okay, so it runs. What are we doing right now? Let's confirm that it calls the URL we expect it to call. We're going to check that. Pull out this variable, call it channel name. So we have our channel name. What? String, come on. String, channel name, channel name, channel name, channel name, channel name, channel name. So now, instead of it as any string, we're going to expect it to make a call to this. So we want it to do that. Let's see. Get channels info should return single channel info given one channel name. So this is make sure it handles the one case calling with the correct. We know that this is the suffix of the URL that we want to have for a single channel. So we're essentially just making sure that it creates that correctly, and that given this data, it serializes that into an object and sends it back to us in that model. As long as it can get a string back and create that, we're calling that pretty good. Not a lot to test here because realistically it's just, you know, calling out to other services that we use. And that includes JSON.NET in this case. So, alright. Let's run that again. Make sure it works. Do 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 do. Let's do this. Move Twitch channel service to core. There you go, Ace Flameseer. Good luck on whatever that 4-letter word is. Add a testing. Add a simple test to confirm single channel case of. Yeah, we'll do that test. Derp. Okay, next thing. Let's move the other one. Ooh, that could be a challenge. This one uses note-a-time serialization, which we didn't have in this project, apparently. I'm kind of surprised that's not in the core project. Either way, let's figure out what's going on with that. We're going to go ahead and open up the NuGet packages for the whole solution and see what's there. I am not sure on that. I did not actually know that that was the word, but apparently I got it, so awesome. I don't know who put that word in there. I'm going to talk to Crimson and S&B. One of them put that in there. That word was evil. A lot of the words in our Hangman game are evil. People were not being friendly when they made those words. People sometimes means me, too. Yeah, Onyx. Not a nice word to have in a Hangman game. No, Ace Flameseer, no. Jazz. That's one of the worst ones to have in a game of Hangman, is jazz. Because you almost never guess the J. You almost never guess the Z. You're only really trying to find 3 letters, but the only one you're actually going to find is the A, and blank A blank blank doesn't help anybody in a game of Hangman. Alright, so where's note-a-time used? That's used in the core project, and in the web project. The serialization library, however, is only used in the Twitch one. So let's put that over on core as well. And we'll thank John Skeet for his wonderful note-of-time libraries. Yeah, Renee, ReSharper can find the right NuGet package, but I wanted to make sure that we matched the same version that we were using elsewhere, just in case we were using it in more than one project, so I didn't then have to immediately just go and consolidate the libraries, whereas ReSharper does not make sure that it is using the correct version based on versions you're using in your project elsewhere. I wish it did look to see what other versions I've got and then ask me, hey, do you want the newest version or do you want to match the same one you're using elsewhere? That would be convenient. So, silliness. One up to date, 8 succeeded. Awesome. And it said his namespace changed. Okay, cool. Let's say move Twitch stream service to core. What's this one doing? These ones are both call and stream. That's call and get live state for all of them. Is this another instance where we can extract them out and they're really just one call? Janisku is correct. The other hard thing in our Hangman game is whether it is X unit, N unit, or J unit. Yeah, exactly. What Janisku just put in there. Yeah, because our Hangman bot has our Hangman game has all three of those words in it. Words. So makes it very difficult. Hang on a second. This might actually be done. Because when you call this one, does it do them all? And then it inserts them individually? Create cache key for them individually? Yes, it does. Yeah, okay, it's doing that already. So, I'm going to get rid of that. If you only called for one, it will only do one. But if you call all, it will refresh all of those into cache. So it will occasionally fetch a single. Oh yeah, MVVM would be another good one. Sector, welcome. Thanks for that follow, much appreciated. Hang on a second. Want to click a couple of buttons over here. Okay, there we go. NUnit could be easy. NUnit is easier than XUnit because you're much more likely to have guessed N than you are to have guessed X or J, because N is a much more common letter in at least English. There might be some languages where J is more common than N. I doubt there's a language where X is more common, but maybe I'm not thinking of a language that uses X more than I would think. But not coming up with one. Okay. Remove out of date to do. So that's an old one, no longer matters. Let's go back to our task list and take a look at what's next. Let's get this cleaned up. We are really running low on to-dos, which is quite nice. This is not ours. Why is that even in here? Can I exclude this? We're going to get rid of those, because those are not ours. Switch this to composition instead of inheritance. Okay. We just did that we just did composition avoiding inheritance somewhere else. We can do that here as well then. What do we need to do then? So query async is what we're calling. So let's open up our Dapper CRUD repository right here. Let's see how many things inherit from it. This is the only one. Oh, cool. Okay. So this is the only place that does this right now. So Dapper CRUD repository, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah, you can have that change. No, actually, this is private now. Right? Yeah, even as that, it wasn't needed up here. So that'll be private, and this just needs one of these. Doesn't call one of those anymore. It isn't one of these. It now calls this dot query async, right? What? Hang on. Oh, because this actually had that in here, and this is a protected, not an actual part of that. In that case, we'll make it public, but nothing should actually be using that. They should be using the interface. So, since this we already said is Dapper, we're going to use it like this, and then that works. Now, why is this complaining? Oh, because channel repository implements an iCRUD repository. Son of a gun. Okay, never mind. I was going to make this change, but we're not going to make this change. We're not making that change at all. No, sir. Because I have a feeling that this actually gets used somewhere for something. Let's find out. Maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, that's fine, and we can go ahead and repeat this. So we did a get all. Yeah, get all is one of the things. We did a get all. And that's not our method either. We're get channels by tag IDs. But actually, now that I think about it, this could just be using a... This doesn't need to be using the one it's using, does it? Could this get away with just being an iCrud repository? No, because that one's called. No, never mind. Need this one. So we're gonna use this one. That's fine. Oh, that's a bummer. So we'll go to the Dapper CRUD repository. We're gonna leave this then as protected, because there's no reason to make it public now, because no one's trying to use it. We'll leave that as private, because the upper level should not access the settings unless it needs them, which it shouldn't, because it should be able to save its own. That called through to the query async anyway, so it didn't need to. Okay, so yeah. Hey Katrina, welcome. So yeah, the funny thing being that we can make that use composition, but I'm thinking we don't want to, because I don't think it's going to add enough. Because right here we're basically just adding an additional thing to the standard CRUD repository. So I think this is going to stay the way it is, and I'm not going to extract it, because I don't think there's enough value in what we're going to lose by doing that right now. So not going to, leaving inheritance in place, removing comment. And then this is, making a protected member private, because we don't need to do anything else with it. Push task list. Alright. This one is an important and significant one. Let's see if we can't knock this one out. Let's see. So this is up... Hang on one second, everyone. Programming with a cold. Not too difficult. Programming with a cold while trying to talk about what you're doing. Slightly more difficult. Okay, here's the deal. We are making a connection to the database there. We are doing this here. What do we do for create? That looks like what we're doing. So we have the channel ID. We set that value, so we're saying if this is not null, we have model.twitch, then we're going to say model.twitch.channel_id is this to make sure that it is absolutely 100% set. Then we're going to insert it in. So when we do that, we're going to need to make sure we delete it first. Delete async. It is a delete an async Twitch channel. Actually, we can't do that. Can we? Yeah, because we have to do it manually for the Twitch channel, I think. We're going to say delete from Twitch channels where channel ID equals at channel ID to make this a variable. We'll call this delete Twitch channel SQL. Actually, let's just call it delete Twitch SQL. Make it a little bit shorter. And actually, because I feel like it, we'll do ID. Don't delete Twitch! Oh man, Coding Gorilla, if I had the power to delete Twitch with a SQL statement, you know I'd do it. Delete that, and then channel do not like that. Want to make that better. Don't have a great way around it right now. Okay, so here's his new channel. Here's update. Apply Twitch changes with the Twitch channel. So we pulled the Twitch channel regardless. It's just we didn't always save it. So looks like we had the data there and just didn't put it in the database. So that should be the only step required. Let's take a look at the database. SQL Server, MS SQL, database, DevStreams DB, tables, Twitch channels. We're going to view the data on this. Stoolpenner! Welcome. Thanks for that 10-month TEN 10-month resub. Awesome. Thanks very much for that. Kitstead, greetings. Welcome. Why are we coding SQL and not using LINQ? That is a fantastic question. So we are using a micro ORM called Dapper And that is actually what this is on this project. In all of our other projects here on the stream, we use an ORM called Entity Framework Core, which is the out-of-the-box one that you get with ASP.NET Core from Microsoft, and we use that pretty much everywhere. Part of the reason why we are using Dapper on this one is because some people were like, hey, I want to see some Dapper, and I was like, sure, we can use Dapper on stream. It works well for some things. So if you are working on a project that either needs higher performance in your SQL queries than what you're going to get out of EF Core, or if you are just on a small project and EF Core seems like overkill, you can use Dapper, which does the object mapping from your relational database, but is much simpler. So take a look, Kitstead. Dapper is actually used on the Stack Overflow website, which I'm sure you've heard of. That is actually what the ORM is that is behind that site. So, performance on that seems reasonably good. Dapper tends to be used for those kinds of cases, but we're mostly just doing it because projects on this stream we like to put up there as places where people can see how things are done, how they work. So we're like, hey, sure, we'll try it out. That's actually how we got started using Vue here on our projects as well, and I've really enjoyed it. I now push Vue as the front end framework that I think should get the most use out there. Big fan of what Vue can do. I think it's probably the best option for most people. So, okay, so we have the DevChatter one right there, and we're saying now that description and image URL should get set when we run this. So, let's take a look. Steps. First off, welcome back. Glad you're here again. And, is MS SQL Object Explorer possible to connect with Postgres? Geez, I don't know. I've never tried connecting it to that. I guess it might be possible. That is a good question. I would Google for that because I do not know off the top of my head whether or not you can. So let's log in, and what is this? Chatter1 at example.com or something. Oh, and what's the password? Is that the password? Hey, I got it. Nice. My channels. My channel is DevChatter, and I'm going to just try click and save and see if it doesn't bomb. Try refreshing this page. Hopefully that updated. Hey, it did. Excellent. So there it is. It added the description and the image URL, so that seems like it worked. Let's see what happens if we do one that doesn't have a row in here already. And just see if it blows up. So I'm going to remove the one for Gareth's stream. So Gareth, goodbye to your row. It is gone. So this is now the state that we'd be in if it were older data. Or for some reason if it failed to make the call the first time, Twitch was down, whatever. So then we go in, we edit Gareth's stuff, we go ahead and save that, and he should now have a new record created, and there it is. And we didn't get any errors, and it seemed to work, so fantastic. So now if I go to the All Channels page, there's Gareth's logo. Do we have the DevChatter one now too? Hey, there's the DevChatter one. So it looks like all these pieces that we were looking at are working just fine. So very nice. That is success right there. Coding Gorilla, awesome. Thank you for chiming in with that. That's what I was gonna say. It connects to some databases, but I don't know all the ones that it will. So I'm glad to know that it will. Renee, that's awesome. Yeah, so, yep. Dapper is really just a lightweight ORM, so, I find one of the most useful things is to know about different technologies, like to know what they are, even if you don't know how to use them, because you can always go look up a tutorial on how to use it, but if you don't know it is out there, then you don't even know to look it up. Greendolf gifting 5 subs across the board there to Surly Dev, Wheatlall, Amiable Chief, Bryce910, and Renee A77. Oh, hey, Stoolpenner, on the ball there with the hype. 10 messages deleted by a moderator. What? Who got hit with that? Coding Gorilla. Sorry, Coding Gorilla. I don't know what you got hit with, but I'm assuming something you posted got interpreted as a link. How many more of those are going? Is that all of them? How many more of those are going? Did we get all 5? I don't know. Alright, I'll chance it and turn the music back on. Very nice. That's awesome. Thank you, Greendolf. And hopefully everybody will... Yeah, I know, they just keep going. Hopefully everybody will enjoy their new Chatosaurus emotes and their new eggs. So, welcome to the Chatosaurus crew. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. And hey, Sudamods! Stoolpenner, thank you very much for gifting those 5 subs to Sudamods, Hazelnuts, Reggie Goo, Hevik87, and Andre. And yes, that is correct, Renee. You have an egg. Hey, Sudamods, you have been gifted a sub. Congratulations, you are once again part of the Chatosaurus crew. So today was a sub gifting train. That's a thing they did, Surly Dev. That is a thing they did a long time ago. That has been our clip here in the channel since we started for when we get new subs. Big fan of that. It's there's actually a video of those two doing the like the Night at the Roxbury sketch. I don't know why they were doing it. I don't know what it was for, but it's ridiculous. That is the people in the picture. That is Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer. And Wheatlall, after receiving a gifted sub, gifts 5 subs out to Laurel, What Letters, Fuel Snable, Kitstead, and Big House. So I guess everybody here in the channel is getting a sub today. Yes, Surly Dev, that is absolutely Bill and Steve. Take a look at them in there. So that is Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer. For some reason acting out that sketch. I have no idea what they were doing. Totally Ace Flameseer. Yes, I know. No one And thank you, Wheatlall, much appreciated. The Michael Jolly is correct. That is very kind of everyone to gift out some subs. And keep in mind that you can use those emotes anywhere on Twitch, so feel free to get hype all over the place. Or if you really want, you can go around thinking. Definitely a good decision to stream on a holiday today, right? Yeah, the Michael Jolly, why not? Look, my son's currently taking a nap, so that's fine. I could absolutely stream right now. Yeah, Surly Dev. Yep, that is what those guys are doing. I didn't know Fritz used that clip also. I'm not terribly surprised. It is a ridiculous clip. Those guys are kind of crazy. Back in the 90s, Microsoft was a weird company. I mean, they're still a kind of weird company, but they were super weird sometimes. I mean, you've seen them up on stages celebrating stuff. Heck, they actually... So one of the things that was kind of weird, they actually used to have those guys show up at the MVP Summit, which was nice. But they tended to stop doing that. Now, Satya shows up sometimes now, but most of the time you don't get like company CEO level people that attend that anymore. which is kind of disappointing. Yes, exactly. Yes. Michael is correct. Microsoft wanted to look cool. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Wheatlaw! I fully expect Ace Flameseer to make some kind of nice comment, but apparently all you get is ah ha ha. There you go. And much appreciated, Wheatlaw. I'm really glad you gifted that sub to Ace Flameseer. I assume you had to figure out, like, how do I choose a specific person to gift a sub to? Yes, there are a lot of eggs in chat today. So that is really, really awesome. Always something I like to see. The Chatosaurus hype. It's always fun. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and hit the hype button. I found the YouTube clip. Well, I can just do that. I will trust that this is the actual YouTube clip, and not like a what is it? And not a Rickroll. We're gonna trust that that's not a Rickroll. Yeah, I do not want your ad. Thank you, Hershey's. All right, let's see how loud this is on the stream if we put this up here for a second.
By the way, I believe.
Don't know what else is in there, but still. Not kidding, it really is. Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, for some reason, doing that sketch. I don't know. I guess they thought it was cool. Maybe they missed the fact that those two characters were supposed to be idiots. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've seen the full clip, Wheatlaw. It's been a long time, though. I just don't want to run too much of any kind of copy-protected stuff here on the stream, just so I don't get, like, anybody, like, YouTube or who knows what yelling at us here on the stream, so I don't like to play full lengths of clips or anything like that. Okay, so let's take a look at our task list again, getting back to coding here. Did we leave anything uncommitted? Yes, we did. We left this right here, so that is update the Twitch channel info on save. There we go. See if we can skip this. Oh. Oh, yeah, Kitstead. The developers. If anyone hosts us for a reasonable amount of, like, it's got to be, like, over 3 or 4 people so that we don't get, like, the single person hosts, because I include auto hosts in my alert, so that's why I put a limit on it. If anybody does, like, host or rate our channel for more than a few people, it will play developers. Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer. Yeah, as I said, they've done some weird stuff in their time, so it's quite fun, though. It's quite fun. Most of those kinds of things that they do. So let's find out. Are we using this tag value? So, what is this? On post async. On which page? We are on the delete page. So do we need to actually pull that in order to delete it? Can we delete by tag ID? I think that's the question. We can delete by tag ID. it's not null at this point, so we could just delete by tag ID, I think? Claims it can. Well, .value, excuse me. Oh, I have to tell it that it's a tag now. So it was intuiting it before because I gave it a tag object, and because it is a generic object, it just figures out, hey, that was obviously a tag object that I received. So in that case, we should just be able to call this, and that should work. Let's confirm what this does. Delete TID SQL connection does a delete async from which library? I don't remember which library we're using right now. Dapper.simplecrud. It's called dapper.simplecrud. Dapper.simplecrud. Delete async. Yep. Delete async. Deletes a record based on a primary key. Yep, we know how that works. Let's take a quick look just to confirm. So we're going to search in this repository for delete async. Simple CRUD. There it is. Let's have a look. That's entity delete. We want object ID, so it's this one. And table for that type. What's it do? It doesn't execute async on that. So it should do it. Passing in the ID builds up the thing. Should work fine. It doesn't do anything weird. It's actually just calling straight through to the execute. So it's not doing anything fancy, which means that that should just call through and be totally okay. So we have gotten rid of that. And we're going to test this by attempting to delete a tag through the site. And there you go. I told you he would say developers in a sweaty rant on a stage. Which, to be fair, like, I never could have done what he did. And that was basically, like, in many ways, the achievement of what Ballmer accomplished there. Now, while we laugh about it, he managed to, just by sheer force, like, of will, like, create some hype out of literally nothing. Like, just yelling about that. And it's like, yeah, that's really impressive. Hey, greetings, welcome, Raiders, hello. Hopefully I gave you enough time for the ad there. And that is one of the things that kind of bugs me. So it used to be the case that anybody that came in off Twitch Prime would not get an ad, but now they are there. So we do have to wait when we get raiders and hosts and things like that for a little bit so that everybody's in here. Welcome, my name is Brendan. This channel here is DevChatter. If you are new here, feel free to ask questions, chime in with anything. We have a really friendly community. Really welcoming community here. Big fan of everyone that's here in the chat and everything like that. Have a look at our Discord if you do want to chat with me or anyone else further outside the stream. We have like 500 or more people in our Discord, so it really is a pretty good sized place if you do want to have a discussion about stuff. Not super active, so you're not going to have to totally mute the whole Discord server, but I do recommend people mute channels that you're not interested in. So if you don't program in PHP and you don't want to hear anything about it, just mute the PHP channel. You'll never hear about it. Same thing if you don't program in C# and you never want to hear about the C# stuff, you can mute that as well. So anything like that. And welcome. Thanks for that follow. Let's see. Looks like Anthony and Landwalker. Much appreciated. Ace Flames here. And trolls, too. Yeah. I don't think there are actually any legitimate trolls over in our Discord, but occasionally people make jokes about that kind of stuff. Also, feel free to take a look at our GitHub repository. If you are interested, you can make suggestions or send us any pull requests for anything that you'd like on there, or just take a look at the code. All up to you. And I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page. We have DevChatter is live. We go over here. Tags are here. Everything over there looks good. I want to manage the site, which means I need to log in. So I'm going to log into Chatter1 and the super secret password that no one could ever guess. Manage the tags. We don't have any tags, so I'm going to create a new tag. We're going to call this one Flameseer for no particular reason. Oh, cannot insert null into description. It's required. Broke the page. I wonder when we broke that. Forever ago, I guess. Where does it go? Pages, manage, tags. What is this one using? A CRUD repo of this, and so I just have to supply. So we just don't have validation on that. Is the problem. So we just need some kind of validation. Oh, the problem is we're using a model there, which comes out of here. Okay. I think if I do this, it might actually be wired up to do that automatically, but we'll find out. Speaking of trying out new technologies on stream, you should try out Martin and PGSQL. Coding Gorilla. Yeah, feel free to make cases for stuff that you want me to try out on stream. Are you in our Discord? If you are, I'd recommend you let me know about it there, so I'm thinking about it while I'm not in the middle of a stream, but that'd be a good place to send me a reminder, information about it, or anything like that, so we can actually talk about it. Create Flameseer. Flame Seeriest of Flameseers. Create. So it creates it down here. Let's go to the delete page, click the delete button. Let's see if that actually does anything. Looks like the answer is no. So see, we thought we'd try it. Entity must have at least one key or ID property. I thought data entity did have a key. It does. It has a key ID property. What are you smoking? That's interesting. So simple CRUD fails to delete that object. Interesting. Delete async ID. Huh. So I think there's a problem with simple CRUD, and that's why it's not deleting it correctly. Okay. Well, let's put that back. And we'll adjust the comment about it. So we're going to go into the details page. Whoops, not details, delete page. Come on, Brendan. You know which things you're doing. Create all but this. Close all but this. There we go. See if we can skip this. Required simple CRUD fails to delete tag by ID only. So we did the to-do, we checked to see, and turns out it is not doable. That is a difficult hangman word. I don't know which one that one is. We'll try a letter. Hey, I got a letter. That's a success right there. Yet you are so confused about what happened right there, but that's fine. Okay, required simple code fields delete tag by ID only. Okay, so I put in that it was simple CRUD, so that if we stop using simple CRUD, it won't do that. Oh, the word was Twitch. Nice. Very good, Ace Flames here. That was well done. Limitation? I don't want to call that a bug. It really feels like there's some kind of a limitation in the way that it works. It could be a bug. Who knows? I try to be very careful about how I talk about open source projects, and I would recommend everybody else go the same route on that. If you think about the amount of effort it takes to maintain an open source project like that, us ever complaining about a bug is absolutely ridiculous, because like if we actually complain about it, because it's one of those, like, a lot of work goes into making that actually happen at all. This is Twitch IDs. Why does that still say that? Twitch IDs, list of Twitch IDs of channels to check their status. I'm going to commit that. Fix outdated XML comment. That is absolutely a loose end. And an out-of-date XML comment. Ooh, I should maybe get that one as well while I'm at it, but not going to do that just yet. So this, we want to replace that with a guard clause, I was suggesting. But I don't think that's going to make sense, because a guard clause is going to throw an exception here, and I think we're okay with returning back this. Although this is if you called it without any Twitch IDs. So maybe we do want an exception with that, because you screwed something up if that happened. Alright, I'll leave the to-do comment there, because we should probably throw if we're going to do that, but I'm not going to add in guard clauses just now. Don't pull the data like this. Oh, that's good. Show a loading message based on that value. What is this one? Show a toast. Or do a redirect. Edit channel. Ooh, this is an interesting one. We should maybe take a look at that one and see what we can't do with it. Oh man, I just realized I forgot to turn the music back on after we did that. Oh man, it was like 20 minutes of no music. I bet everybody's freaking out now. They're like, what is going on? Silence. Cool stuff. Oh yeah, we still does that page still have the multi-select? I think it does. I think it does. And I think it probably makes sense to have it there. But I'm not 100% on that. Either way, I like that set of changes. I think that is good. Let's go ahead and... I didn't see any other low-hanging fruit ones that we wanted to knock out just yet, so let's go ahead and create a pull request for it. So, compare... Before I actually even draft this, let's take a look over here. We're going to switch milestone to MVP. Let's see, refresh the Twitch info in the database when editing channels. So number 59 resolves number 59. Okay. Did it get anything else with this? Draft the drafter, exactly. We do still need to do a little bit of that. Style the calendar page, adjust the calendar's filter layout. No, haven't done those yet. Okay. In addition to some general cleanup and completion of to-do comments, this also resolves number 59. Okay. So we're going to create it as a draft to begin with, because then I'll just take a look at it and it exists. So a bunch of little commits of small little changes. So that's ignoring the site min CSS. I thought about maybe doing this as ignoring all minified CSS, but I don't know that we necessarily want to, because in case we committed in case we did something where we committed something that wasn't part of like a node module or something like that, and we committed a minified version, I didn't want to run into a problem from that, so I didn't do that yet. Note of time serialization included in that project, that's fine. That's creating the settings files we were setting up. That is setting up that interface we were creating, switching that over to a param string array. This is the creation of that Twitch channel service in the new place. This is switching that from that. Twitch channel service, creating this in core. Does that mean we have a delete one from the infrastructure project? We may. Okay, so this is creation of initial settings and cache settings there. That is using them. So that's using the various settings in those places. This is adjusting these to handle the new settings pieces. That is adding a scope Twitch client API. That is that. So that is the comment telling us about that one. This is our placeholder we extracted, and there's using it. There's where it disappeared from. We renamed that class to a better name. We used our new caching extraction, and here and there as well. Up in this code, we just called that mock for now, but that's fine. There's only one in here. We can rename it if we add an additional one. That test has a real and valid name and passes. This is the deletion of the code that was really not a delete but was a move, but somehow got interpreted because Git did not understand that did not actually change the file significantly. I probably should have done that as separate commits so it would notice. So this is the extraction of the actual API that does this code. So this appeared in two places and now is only in one, so hooray for composition instead of inheritance. We could have done that with inheritance as well, but we like doing the compositional approach, as then we don't end up with big chains of inheritance. We will set this ready for review. Okay, so we have a new pull request set up that has a lot of our little loose end fixes in there. There's still one big loose end that we still need to take care of, and that is handling of the session data that we create. We do need to figure out what we want to do with that. We have not done that one yet. That is, for anyone that is wondering, so in our project, what we do is we bring in schedules for the channels that we're doing that we're going to display data for. So any channel that gets added to the DevStreams site, we bring in its schedule. Now, right now, that's a manual process, but we're going to make it so that we can pull it in from other sources so that it's not, manual for everybody that comes in. But this is a good starting point for the initial data set. Once we have that schedule, the way we determine it is actually local time for the streamers. So if I start my streams on Mondays at 2 p.m. my time, that means it's going to always start at 2 p.m. my time. I'm probably not going to switch when daylight savings time changes happen and things like that. So what that means to everyone else is if you switch daylight savings time, you shift your clock forward an hour at the beginning of during spring, we'll say, then what is going to happen is you are going to be an hour ahead unless I did at the same time as you. So if you live in the United States, I probably shift at the same time you do, and you don't really notice a change. If you live, say, in Europe, just as an example, you probably shifted ahead before I did this year, and there was an hour time window where I was streaming an hour off, and then at the completion of that, it was adjusted. Now, because we store these times using my local time, what we can actually do inside the system, and we do this, is you go to the site and you say, hey, I am, I was observing Central European time, but now I'm observing Central European summer time because I switched to daylight savings time. So what that means is the site is going to figure that out and show you the correct time for my stream, because it knows, hey, I'm supposed to translate from the time zone that Brendan uses over to the time zone of the user that's requesting this, and it does the translation. So we built that using Notatime. It works great. If then when I catch up, it's going to adjust that to be correct again. Now, the way that we store that information to make it right is what we're actually doing is we're creating an instance of at what point in UTC time Brendan is streaming. So rather than do the conversion every single time for anyone that requests it, what we do is we do the conversion one time from my time zone to UTC for any given instance in time. So I've stored my repeating stream, my Mondays at 2 p.m. as America/new_York is my time zone ID, and then that ID is associated with my schedule, and we say that I stream at 2 p.m. So whatever that is at UTC is where we put that. So it's not, so for example, during the summertime, that is, what, 2 p.m. would be 1800 UTC. We did not just store it at 1800 UTC year-round. What we did is, during the time that I'm in daylight savings time, it's at 1800 UTC. When I'm not on daylight savings time, it's 1900 UTC. So it's based on my time zone. So when we do that for every streamer that puts their stream in, you just put in what country they're in, and if required, get more specific, you choose the time zone with it. We choose the country and then choose the time zone within the country, so we get the right one. But that's the way that we do it. And it works pretty well, we think. So that's the cool stuff. A couple of things I do want to mention to everyone here. If you are not yet, be sure to check out our Discord and our GitHub, our YouTube channel, where you can find all of our archives of everything we do here on the stream. We have done a lot of streams in the past. Roughly speaking, almost 200. This is stream number 198. So sometime this week, assuming that nothing makes me not be able to stream, which I guess, hang on, let's see. There should be a Tuesday stream, so that'd be tomorrow. There will not be a Thursday stream this week, but I might do our 200th stream on Friday, or it'll be Friday or Saturday would be my guess. So if I do a bonus stream on Friday, we might celebrate our 200th stream on Friday, or Saturday would be my guess. So looking forward to that. Should be quite fun. So hopefully everybody is going to show up for that. As I said, don't know exactly what we would do special for that one, but yeah, looking forward to it. Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure that everybody sticks around. I am going to wrap up our stream for today, but I am going to get us rating. So what I want to do is roll my credits real fast. I want to make sure that I thank everybody that helped us out today. We have a whole bunch of people that we want to thank. I want to make sure that I thank Greendolf and Stoolpenner for helping to moderate the channel today. I want to make sure that I thank all these wonderful people that followed. And then I want to make sure that I thank Greendolf, Stoolpenner, and Wheatlall, as well as anyone that did their own resubscribes, like S&B I know did. But all of these wonderful people have joined the Chatosaurus crew today as part of, with gifted subs, thanks to those people I mentioned earlier. So hopefully everybody enjoys those subs. You can use your emotes all throughout Twitch, and it'll last you for a month. So really awesome. Thank you for hanging out, everyone. I'm hoping my throat's going to get better. I'm going to give it a rest, and we'll be back again tomorrow. So take care. Enjoy your week. Happy Monday, and happy coding, everyone. Bye.